Now, we 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 saw from the previous discussions that we have mostly these six types of desires, right? Lust, arrogance, greed, delusion, jealousy, and anger. And those desires or those emotions are basically arising because we think that there is a concept I and there is a concept my, because the first concept is the I am separate from the universe because I already objectified this body as me, which is discontinued from the whole continuum of the universe because of my ignorance, because I'm not paying enough attention, or I'm not observing the fact of the complete absolute continuity in terms of all the angles. It doesn't matter which angle you are looking at it, it's continuous. I mean, there is no one which can falsify it, right? uh, Remember, the actual observation doesn't need any proof. If you just observe, it's there in front of you. But if you impose anything, then you need to bring proofs, you need to bring logic, mathematics, all the things, right? And those explanations, those logic, those proofs, they are all our explanations that we further impose or superimpose to justify our claims or to justify our explanations, that meaning that we already superimposed. So once you tell a lie, you then need to bring infinite lies, right? But those are not bad, because without the falsity, you or me will never be able to know what is called false. And if we don't know what is called false, there will be no concept of truth, because I need to observe something. Otherwise, I will be unaware of me, right? That's why the desire to know never cease, because the self-awareness is always there. The self-awareness produces the desire to know, because the last thing that can be the knowledge to me is the existence, right? The existence itself. But when you objectify it as I, then starts the series of ignorance. But when just the existence without any quality, just the existence, even the utterance of existence or thinking anything will bring into far from yourself. So the actual self is the existence itself, right? And the existence will always have the feeling or the awareness about the existence, right? And the moment it has that awareness, there will be desire. It's impossible to hold that desire, because if there is existence, there will be desire to know. These are not logical jugglings, if you just pay observation, this is clear that there is not a single moment that we can stay without any desire. Either we desire to desire something, or we desire to not desire something. There has to be desire. Even when we go to sleep, we desire to come to the waking state again. That's why we come back. If we don't desire, we will be so. So there is desire, which is always fueling our individual superimposed universes, right? And when there is no observation, there is total ignorance, complete absolute ignorance. We don't have any sense what is happening. It doesn't matter how much degrees you have, how many PhDs you have, how much IQ you have. Those all are useless if you are not able to observe a thing, or to observe the very process of objectification. Once you know it, then The all the IQ, the science, the information will help you to know yourself. Okay. And the moment someone will observe the falsity of a particular state of superimposition, he is already in the higher level of the reality. So there is differences. So right now, if you understood that there is continuity, then you are already above from the discontinuity, right? So that's how we are telling the difference. All the layers are superimposed by us. You don't think that we just superimposed the this is called pain, this is called body. The layers of superimpositions are infinite, and the more you will know those superimpositions, the more you will know what true excitement actually is, what music is, what language is, what is true love, what is actually joy is, what is friendship is. So those, the more you will go close to yourself, the more you will feel the divinity in everything. And there is total the main thing that we need to observe is the absolute continuity. That's the breakthrough that we have to make. And for that, different approaches can be taken. I already discussed in the previous videos, so please go through them. And I will make more elaborated versions of these videos. This is just beginning of my attempt. Okay, so this is another attempt to explain what I'm trying to say. So this is the body of me, and when, let's say, I am roaming through this beautiful lake, not on the top of the lake, but to the ground, in the on the ground, then whatever I see, I don't see as it is. That is the whole panorama of this beauty, of this unexplainable joy or beauty, or whatever you call it. I always take a portion that this is a leaf of a tree, this is water of lake, this is a blue portion of the sky, this is an insect, this is my nail of my finger, like that. You see, I never look what the object is. I already objectified it. Forget about observation. What I am looking is my own prejudices, that this is sky, this is tree, this is that, this is that. I mean, the whole existence is trying to say as, see, everything is in front of you, see. But no, we already objectified that this is my nail and this is my eyes, this is that. So we are already trapped in this I and you business, you know. And just if you pay a little bit of attention, that's it. The journey is always upward, then there will be no downward. So let's see how everything is happening. So whenever I am perceiving anything, let's say I am perceiving this object which is called a tree, you see, it is already objectified. So when I am looking at that particular action, that is the color, smell, touch, taste, etc., through my sense organs, then I am not looking at color, touch, sensations, or smell, etc. I am looking it as an object with a shape and name. The name is tree, the shape is like this and that, which is isolated from the rest of the continuity. And that's the superimposition at its best. So what we take within us is the prejudice or the explanations that we already have, right? We 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 don't observe the thing as it is. I mean, one can say that after seeing those senses, the the triggering process happens within us or within our memory. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, this is the same thing. I mean, whether you perceive the color and the color is triggering within you something, or you perceive the color with the prejudices or with the explanations already embedded, it's already the same thing. I mean, there is no difference in that. I mean, none of us thinks that this is an object which is objectified from the rest of the universe. We always see that this is a tree, this is me, this is you, like that, right? And that's the all those false explanations are happening via superimposition, because we already superimposed our universe like that, and we have infinite numbers of names with forms. Whatever we see, we will be able to give a meaning to that. It doesn't matter what language we know, it doesn't matter whether we are able to speak or not, that meaning will be coming in our thoughts. Okay. And this is happening because of total ignorance. And there is desire is helpless, because if there is complete ignorance, the desire cannot do anything. The desire will always be uh, towards having those explanations as enjoyments again and again and again. It can only desire to have a particular information. It cannot know whether true or false. What can know is called consciousness, the knowing faculty. And the awareness will produce the desire after knowing, after all the process of knowing, uh, observing and everything. One understands the, oh, this is this, and then the journey begins. But if everything is already superimposed with false explanations, then it's like a dead end, you see. So if you feel that there is some divine force which actually helping all of us to be able to live, to be able to breathe, eat, reproduce, all sorts of work that we do in harmony, the whole field vibrating with action. If we have a faith that I don't have any clue what it is, but I know, or I can see that there is some higher force which is acting constantly to keep this symphony of the divine music, or the divine action. Then this process of self knowledge becomes very smooth, you see, with the devotion, with the faith, uh, the the with tears, the all the falsity that we already superimposed with on our eyes, the all the misinformations, or all the explanations will be swiped away, and we will be able to see, or we will be able to observe everything without any discontinuity, without any prejudices. The the devotion or the faith is very crucial thing. Otherwise there won't be the initiation of the of the process of self knowledge. It can be You can be very, very educated, or you can be mm, uh, you can be anything, but all of those are explanations, right? Beliefs of bunch of borrowed in explanations from someone else or something, right? So whatever we do, it doesn't matter. We are always in falsity. But if we just realize that there is something that is helping us all the time to to fulfill some purpose, then the faith or the divinity will blossom within all of us, and that's the actual thing that a human being should pray of, or should set as a goal of, or whatever you name it. Because once someone see that there is only false, the whole observable universe is immersed in falsity of beliefs, individual or universal. So once you know it, then uh, that journey of self-knowledge will begin, and the initiation of that knowing process has to be triggered by devotion or faith to something that you know, or you feel that is keeping this divine, this universe or the existence, this divine action in active form, then before we go to the further discussion, we can see that after we have these false explanations within us, we have the desire to enjoy them, right? Let's say I I saw an ice cream, or I saw something. What I saw the interaction my eye is having with an object. I think that I am having that interaction, and based on that, my body, and after that, what it is going on is my body is going to that particular object to get that object, starts eating, or whatever it wants, whatever sorts of actions it wants to engage with, it initiates. But I think that I am doing that. I believe that I am doing that. Why this is a belief? Because action and the observer who is throwing meaning on that action has to be different, that we just saw before, right? Now, whenever this body is interacting, I'm thinking that I am doing it, the doership, that I am doing it. I cannot do anything, because if I do, I will be action. I won't be observer. The action has to be different than the observer. Otherwise, there won't be possibility of superimposition to put meaning on the action, right? This is as simple as that, and little bit subtle. So when the belief comes that I am the doer, then there are five sorts of actions that we desire to do. One is the act of speaking, that is the organ of speech, the five organs of actions that we believe we have. But what we observe is the perception through the sense organs. But we believe that we are having, we are able to speak, we are able to move, we are able to hold, we are able to excrete, and we are able to create, right? Uh, all of them are our imaginations, our superimpositions, because we cannot do anything. What is happening is action. We cannot do them, we can only feel them. or we can desire to experience them. You see, desiring something and doing something is different. But when the error is there that I am doing something, then it comes that, oh, I want to do this. Because of the ignorance, I think I am doing it. Then the desire comes, I want to do this. But when the observing ability comes, when I see that I am not the doer, then only the observation through sense organs will be there, that okay, yeah, I can observe that these are happening. I am the observer, not the doer anymore. This is very, very simple and little bit subtle. Just try to observe it and take one example, contemplate on each act of objectification. You will break through. You will definitely will there will be breakthrough. And this is a most important thing for all of us. W- Can you imagine living entire life in falsity? Okay. Those centers are moving with, okay, yeah. So based on the discussions from previous videos, what we understood is that, what we observed is that there has to be different layers, because once you know that I was or I am living in complete or total ignorance, that means I am not there anymore. My clarity increased, and that means I am little bit higher level than the previous level, right? So that is an observation, that's a fact. I mean, there is no denial of that. No one can deny that. Now the question is, are we carrying those different levels with us, or it is universal? You see, there is a thought that maybe there will be some points, 6 or 7 points that will be connected, and we are all carrying that. That can be one thing. Another, the whole universe is like that, and we are the different layers of consciousness or observability. So which one is possible, or which one is a fact? Now, if there is total continuity, that means the whole universe is having that different layers. It's not individual, right? But when we don't understand the continuity, then it will be different individual centers that we are carrying. But knowing or observing the continuity is very, very simple if you just pay a little bit attention. So what we just discussed so far, based on that, we saw that all the explanations or all the informations that we call as memory has to be stored in somewhere that will be different than the action that we are perceiving, right? So if we are perceiving any action, that means we are different from it. Otherwise, we won't be able to superimpose our own explanations, right? The action cannot superimpose any meaning on itself. It has to be always the observer. Okay, so that's one thing. So the memory that we call as memory is basically a place that we want to know. And based on the discussions that we have, we definitely know there is a place, or there is something called memory, which is different than this body, right? And it has different centers, because we realized that there has to be different layers that varies based on the clarities of observation, right? And from knowledge, from uh, focus or observability, we can know the very ground reality of us, the observable universe right now. But to explore the different layers, we have to rely on yoga. The yoga is completely different approach that basically deals with calming or with removing all the disturbance that we are having in this already superimposed reality that we call as observable universe. So once we have the clarity that there is continuous, or there is a total continuity within this universe, and also all sorts of false beliefs are gone, we have the absolute honesty, respect about our observations, that this is true, this is false, the total devotion to that which is basically kept all of us in action. Then there is possibility to observe those layers as well, like the way we are perceiving right now. That's a possibility. Don't believe any arguments. Just consider that as a possibility, right? That's all I have to say for the memory. And if there is yoga, there will be all other aspects which deals with accessing all those observable levels of reality that can help others, that can benefit others, not for individual pleasure or joy, because those are all false. Those are all beliefs. Those are all informations that are stored for you so that you can know them false one by one, and ultimately reach the actual goal, that is your true self. And that's the beauty of yoga. There is tantra, there is all sects which basically helps one individual being, but but the prerequisite is the absolute honesty, complete clarity about the facts, the observations, total devotion, etc.